Hey guys, Niman Hao. I'm moving to China in 41 days. How crazy. So in this video, I'm going to run through the 8 documents that you need to get a working visa in China. Noting that as Australians, if you want to holiday in China, you can go there 3 times a year for 30 days, visa free. Just roll in. That's what I did when I was there June, July. So you literally just rock up to the border and you're like, hi, I'm Australian, and they process. So anyway, 8 documents we need because, oh boy, it's a bit of a process. So the first 3 I'm going to talk about, you need to get apostilled, notarized, and apostilled. So I haven't gone through that process yet, but I'll give you guys an update. If anyone's got tips about getting documents notarized and apostilled, please let me know in the comments. But basically the notarization is done by a justice of the peace. And then I need to get the documents apostilled by DFAT. And I think they seal them in some capacity. So I'm working through that in the next few weeks, but it does take quite a few weeks to process. Okay, so the 3 documents you need to get apostilled, notarized, then apostilled are first, you need a bachelor's degree. So from what I understand, if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you can't get a working visa in China, or at least the working Z visa that I'm getting. I think if you run your own company, you might not need a bachelor's degree, but not sure on that. But yeah, if you want to teach in China, you do need a bachelor's degree. Noting that it doesn't have to be in education. So I've got a Bachelor of Commerce, majoring in finance and economics. Now I'm going to teach in China and they're happy with my bachelor's degree of commerce. Okay, so that's the first one. You're going to need a TEFL certificate. So there's a few different language courses that you can do, but they're lowest barriers to entry is probably the TEFL certificate. It's around $300, $270. But I've learnt quite a lot along these because I've bought 2 TEFL certificates, and I do find there's a difference in the level of difficulty between the 2 that I've bought. So obviously I've gone for the easier one because I'm moving in 41 days, I need to get this moving. But I might actually do the other TEFL certificate to be able, it's like a tongue twister, TEFL certificate to be able to give you guys a review on which one I would suggest if you do have more time up your sleeve. So bachelor's degree, TEFL certificate. And if you get a TEFL certificate not in the country of which you originate in, I think I've got to go to so my TEFL certificate is going to be issued in the UK. So I think I have to go to the embassy, but I'm still working through that. You can use a third party, but it costs 370 Australian per document, which is just the TEFL certificate, but it's just annoying. There's a lot of cost involved, right? So I'll work all of that out and let you guys know. But if anyone is a justice of the peace in Perth, or they know how to get my documents apostilled, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so that's the 3 documents that's 2. The third one is the police check. So you need to have a clean criminal record, which I do, to get into China. So I don't know if you have a criminal record, whether you can get a certificate, a visa. I'm not sure. Yeah, so you need that criminal record notarized and apostilled. So that's the 3 you need to get notarized and apostilled. Okay, so that's the 3 we're getting notarized and apostilled. Next, let's move on to, obviously you need a passport. So I've got an Australian passport and it's got to be valid for more than 6 months. Obviously there's an embassy in China, so if you need to get a new passport while you're over there, you can, but it's got to be valid for 6 months. The other 2 that are interesting, so you need to get a full physical workup and have a work history template. So there's this 2-page document that's everything from do I have AIDS? Are my eyes normal? And so I can give you guys more details if you're interested, but the company just provided me for that, with that document, and then I have to print it and get it all checked and then go to a doctor, put my passport photo on it, and get the doctor to stamp every page. So that's the physical. They did tell me you don't need to get an X-ray and ECG. I think that's going to be done in China, but obviously I'll update you guys when I know more. It's a bit of a, like, this is why I'm creating these videos, right? It's a bit of a minefield, so I'm trying to break it down for you. Okay, so that's the medical, and then work history wise, you just need to say when you were studying, when you were working, and at what organization. And then for what I understand, the company that I'm working for will translate that into Chinese and provide that to issue my work permit. Okay, so we've got, let's count how many documents we've talked about so far. Your bachelor's degree or higher, your TEFL certificate, your criminal record, those are the apostille documents, and then we've got the work history and the work history we just spoke about, and the physical. And then the passport, obviously. Okay, so that's the 6 documents that are gonna get you to the invitation letter. So you give those, or you like ship them in the mail to your company. How interesting. With the seals on them. And then the company is gonna issue you like either they call it an invitation letter or a Chinese residence work permit. So from there, you use copies of your documents, the invitation letter, and I think I need to go to the Chinese embassy in Perth to apply for the working Z visa. So on that, the 8th document is the application, but you can't, well, you can fill out the application, but you can't go into the embassy until you have the invitation letter. So that's the 8 documents, and I think if I just teach you a bit of Chinese culture, because why not? So that's the 8 documents, and in Chinese, 8, the way you say it is ba, it's the flat tone. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's like ba, ba, it's written like this. And so it's actually in Chinese a really lucky number because it's similar to fa. So fa, the flat tone again, it either means you can add different characters to it and it means like to develop, or it means prosperity. So interesting, I think they did that on purpose, but I don't know. But there's 8 documents you need to get a working Z visa in China. So tell me, is this your experience? If anyone's got any tips, let me know. But of course, when I know more, I'll share it all with you guys and wrap it all up in a bow so it's easier for you to follow if you also want to move to China. Okay, and I'm interested to know, do you guys think that this is like these are a lot of documents to prepare? Or like, say if you've come to Australia, what's the process on getting a working visa? Like, is it difficult, or is this like an easy process? Like, I'm actually keen to understand. Okay, well, I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for all the love on the last one. I'll let you know, well, you let me know what you want to know, what you want to hear next, and I'll continue to give you updates like this. Sai Jen, see you in the next video.